All right, Coach, by far the team's best all-around performance of the season. What did you see today that was maybe a difference from the first couple of weekends?
Well, the confidence level on everything, was there. We've had some ups and downs, just trying to get our feet under us. And I think we talked about that at the beginning of the week. How are we going to find a half a tenth? How are we going to find a full tenth on every routine? And breaking it down that way so that way we knew from even our last meet, we could go up a full 2 points almost. So that was our goal, was to just kind of look at where we could find those extra 1/10 on every routine. And I think they did a good job of that. Really kind of focusing in. We chose to go really just clean stick vaults this meet. That was an issue a little bit last year until the end. And so we were trying to do that a little earlier. And then hopefully in another month or so, we'd like to, be doing those 10-0 vaults. But I thought they did a great job of really focusing in on the details today.
9975 today at home. What does that feel like to contribute a score like that?
It feels like I want to do it again. I didn't realize how overwhelming it would feel and how exciting it would be, and having everyone else be excited for me, it was a really special moment. I really enjoyed it.
What made that possible? What was different today?
Well, I just relied on the fact that I've done so many numbers in the gym, and I've practiced so hard to work on not making many mistakes. And once I got up there, I told myself that I'm going to hit this today. I'm going to do it. And I made sure to do everything I needed to do and felt everything I needed to feel, and it turned out how I wanted it to. So, yeah.
We did a lot of numbers this week.
Yeah.
Your official home debut, what was it like performing in front of the Gill Coliseum? Did a pretty good turnout today?
Yeah, it was very different from the club that I came from, so it's way better. The atmosphere is amazing, and it's like you're fired up for everything you do, and everyone's just cheering for Oregon State, so it's awesome. It was really awesome.
Coach, obviously no Sage today.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us why we didn't see Sage today?
Yeah, she has a slight strain, and so we wanted to make sure that we just rested her this week so that she's ready to go next week and the week after. So we thought this was a good week to do that. I know she wanted to go too, but we needed to take our time, and we have the depth, and we need to utilize that depth. It gives more athletes experience. It builds our confidence and belief in our team itself, that no matter what happens throughout, someone can get sick one day, we might have to replace them. So, we just relied on that and had everyone else step up.
Coach, in a lot of other sports, for football, for example, they call that the next man up mentality.
Right.
What do you guys call it in your gym? Or how do you refer to that mindset?
I don't know that we call it the next man. We just say everyone needs to be ready, because we don't know what could happen in warm-ups. We don't know, literally our changes took place yesterday when I got to practice, and, talking to our athletic trainer that we were going to rest her. We made that decision. So even after practice yesterday, I said, okay, meet us 15 minutes early so we can talk about what our lineups will be. So those changes had to happen, but everyone knows that at any point in time they could be called up, and so it's really important, no matter where you're at in the depth chart, that you're ready to go. So yeah, and I think the other thing too is that by doing that, it pushes everyone else in the lineup to be better. They know that at any point in time, someone else can step up and do the job. So they are pushing themselves to find those extra tenths here and there, and to do what they have to do to make it as close to that 9-9 to 10-0 routine every time they go out.
Yeah, and how often, you talked about just changing some of the vault routines,
Mm-hmm.
How often are you guys kind of changing that? And is this something that you maybe want to get set, going into conference season? Is that something you kind of want to get set? So conference season, you kind of build essentially a routine in what you're going to be doing every week and then making that better?
Yeah, well, I think one of the things is we're trying to be patient with ourselves and develop into that team that we want to be in postseason. Just because we do it right now doesn't mean that it's going to be where we need to. So we want to build our confidence now and keep that going on through. I think that way we can carry it on into our upgrades that we might do on different events. And so I think, they're over there working on them, but it's a half a tenth difference in start value. So you have to make sure that if you do that 10-0, that you're going to nail it. So we're working on how clean can they get those before we put those out there.
Yeah. And a question for the girls. What do you guys feel like when Coach talks about those little tiny details? What would you tell, the fans or people that are watching you guys when they come here at Gill Coliseum? How are you able to make those little tiny changes to get that, 10 a little bit better?
A lot of numbers at practice really helps, and when you focus in on that one thing that you need to fix, then it becomes more natural the more you do it. So we've been working a lot on that.
It's quality numbers too. So there's an expectation in the numbers that they're doing and the type of routine that they can count. So I think that makes a difference too. So it's not just numbers to do numbers. You have to do a certain quality routine and then move on. So that was the challenge that we put in front of them this week.
That's awesome. And then, heading into conference season, I know, Ellie, you've been in conference season before. Now that you have a year of experience more so under your belt, just how do you guys feel that you are heading into the conference season with where you're at now?
I feel pretty confident with where we're going. It's really nice to have a year already under my belt. I know what's going to happen, what to expect, which is the unexpected. And I feel really confident going into the season and helping the freshmen and Sage get used to what it's like. I mean, Sage already knows what it's like, but yeah.
We've got some bonus J today, a third routine. What's the thought process? How are you making that decision, as you go through the season on what the workload's going to be?
Well, right now, mainly we're focusing on bars and beam for the most part. Because of the skills that she is training, the elite season is much earlier. So we have to do a different type of routine on both floor and vault. And so in order to push herself in those areas, we're pulling back a little bit more on those, and also making sure that the pounding, because through the college season, it literally goes right into, like 2 weeks later is American Classic. So we do have to look at it a little differently, whereas before it was July. So we have to train this differently than we have any other year. And if we pushed her all around every week, she would not be able to do what we need her to do in international competition as well. So it's kind of balancing both worlds. I think it's a challenge for Jade because she would like to just compete. And so, that's just something, but she is also a team player and she'll do what we ask her to do too, so.
But today, we got a vault routine that maybe people might not have come to the gym expecting to get.
Yeah.
So why did we add vault today?
We just thought Sage was out. She didn't do her double full. She just did a full, her big full, and we knew that that's kind of her timer vault anyway. So, right? So we just focused on that, and I think maybe later, as we get closer to postseason, you might see her in that lineup here or there. We don't know, but it's kind of week to week, and we'll see where we're at. But like I said, our main focus is bars and beam this year.
I just had a question about going forward into future meets on the road and stuff. How are you guys going to take the atmosphere that Gill Coliseum gives you and keep that energy up going forward?
Well, we have what's called the Beaver Bubble, where we don't focus on what's outside, we focus on what we can control and whoever's going up. And we even have to do that in Gill sometimes so we don't get caught up in what's going on and we stay focused on what we're supposed to do. And that helps us so that no matter where we go, we have the same routine and we don't focus too much on what the crowd does.